Hi friends, welcome back or welcome if it is your first time here. So today we are doing another really exciting video. I'm going to test some new stuff that I got. It's not like a full face of new stuff by any means, but I mainly want to test this little beauty here, which I found at Home Bargains. This is like a dupe of like a Huda Beauty palette, but it just looks insane. So I really am excited to try this. We have a couple other things to try, but like it's not like a lot. But yeah, we're just gonna chill out and hang out together and try some new stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, so we can't fit this thing in the bin, so you're gonna see it in the back of this video like the whole way. I'm very sorry, but enjoy the dogs. So this here is from this brand called Laia Beauty. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's Laia and then Beauty. This is the nude cream palette. So they had three of these. One was like lighter toned. This one is the medium toned one, and then they had a deeper one. So very much like the Huda Beauty palettes, like the light, medium, and dark ones they have. I can't remember what they're called. Also, I'm in a new setup today, so yeah, just bear with me because we completely swapped the whole room around. So I'm trying to get used to it. But I'm not like 100% sure if this is like a full-on dupe. So I will find a picture of the Huda Beauty palette and I'll do it like side by side. And we can see how much of a dupe it actually is. Let's dig right in. So I'm going to start with this lighter shade. It kind of has like a little bit of like a lilac-y tone to it, but it's like really light. Oh, it definitely has pigment. Come closer. I think I might do a halo eye. I feel like it's been a while since I did a halo eye. Oh, that's pretty actually. That has a lot more pigment than I thought it would. And this palette, I'll see if I can find it online. But it was like £1.99 from Home Bargains. And like the packaging feels really nice. Like everything feels really good quality. And like, look at that pigment from that shade. Honestly, I need to be a bit more careful. I was being really haphazard because I thought it was like just gonna be super light and you wouldn't really be able to see it, so I was just sort of doing whatever, but I need to be a bit more careful. So now I'm taking this brush, it's kind of a little bit stained, and I'm gonna go into like the sort of brownish shade. It's the deepest color in the palette. Oh wow, look at that. Let me just remind you, £1.99. This is really good quality. Oh my god, seriously, look at that. I'm gonna go back into the lightest shade and just blend. Now I'm taking a bare brush and we're gonna go into the sort of like bone color and just use that up here. That one is like a bit more powdery than the others, but that's fine. Oh god. They also have two pinks in this palette. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them today, but let me just swatch them. They feel so creamy. That's the first one. And then that's the second one. That's more of a peach. So you got the pink and then a peach. So they look quite powdery. Let me just swatch those ones that I've already used. And obviously the yellow. That's the lighter one, the deepest one, and then the cream. So a nice little variety of palette there. It's very pretty. Now let's swatch some of these shimmers, which are definitely what drew me into this one. They look so glitzy. Okay. They feel really nice as well. So that's the four of them. Let's... 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh my gosh. These two are probably my favorite. The other two, there's honestly not too much difference in them, but there still is a bit. This one's definitely more peachier tone. This one's more sort of like rose. This is more true pink, and then obviously this is purple. But there's some really nice variety in this palette, even though it's only a £9. Like you can go more neutral, you can go more purple, you can go more pink, you can go more peach, you can go more rose. Like there's quite actually a lot of different looks you can do in this. And these shades look really nice and glitzy. Okay, so for shimmer, I definitely want to use the purple. that has just completely drawn me in. So I'm going to use that. Oh my god. Do I need to remind you once again of how cheap this is? I'm not even going to lie to you. I think I'm going to run back to Home Bargains and buy the other two. Because this formula is really, really nice. Like, I haven't tried the particular Huda Beauty palettes that these are duping. But I have tried her formula. And honestly, I think this is comparable. Like, these shades are so nice. They're so pigmented, they're so creamy and blendable, but it's literally like £2. Like £2 for a palette is insane, especially when the palette is this good quality. Now, just for a little bit of pop in the center, I'm going to take this sort of like pinkish tone. Just pop that right in the middle. So now for foundation. I don't know what to do. We have a new one from Collection, or I could retest that cushion foundation from Amazon. I think we'll do the Collection one. So this is the Collection Hydrate Hydra Serum Foundation with hyaluronic acid. So I'm guessing this goes hand in hand with that hyaluronic serum concealer that they released. I tried it a while back. I got this in the shade 5 Fair, and okay, let's just use a brush quickly. Oh, I think that's a pretty good match. That's got some nice coverage actually. So let me just see what this says. It says that skincare meets makeup with bathroom foundation, blah, blah, blah. It has hyaluronic acid and glycerin to hydrate and nourish the skin while providing medium coverage in a weightless, breathable finish. It also has a vitamin E, which is a known antioxidant, and it has vitamin B5 to reduce redness and sensitivity. I mean, it's not the lightest coverage, as you can see, like it really has got rid of my rosacea pretty good. But it's definitely, to me, it's not really a medium. It's more sort of like a light, buildable to medium is what I'd probably say. Because you can definitely still see, like, marks. You can still see sort of like some scars and stuff, especially up here. And you can still see some rosacea, so yeah. It looks nice though. I'm not gonna lie, I do think I prefer that cushion foundation. But let me try it over here with a sponge. I had to get my other one out because my one that I was using ripped after like a couple of uses. But you can see that using the sponge has given it a much, much lighter coverage. Honestly, I prefer the finish of it, I think, with the sponge. But I prefer the coverage of it with the brush. Let me just add some more. Okay, so yeah, if you want more coverage, definitely use the brush versus the sponge, but the sponge just like presses it in a little bit nicer. Although I will say you can definitely see sort of like that rosacea patch right here, whereas I feel like when you use a brush that doesn't really work. But let me just run over it, because what I like to do nowadays is use a brush to blend it out first and then just go in with my sponge to press it all in. I just find that that gives me like the best coverage. And I would say that I definitely prefer the brush and the brush side better than the sponge side. Okay, it looks pretty. It is definitely a light to buildable medium coverage. Because I'd say it's medium and I've built it like a little bit. It's not like super radiant. It's definitely more of like a natural finish. I do have to say I think I prefer the finish of that cushion foundation I tried in the last video. It looks okay. I'm not gonna lie, on first impressions, it's not my favorite. I'm not really wowed by it. I don't particularly love the finish. I feel like it's going in my pores a little bit. Like, I just don't like it. I feel like it looks kind of, I don't want to use the word heavy, but more on the heavy side than what I'm used to, especially because it said it was lightweight. But let me just pop on a little bit of concealer quickly. I'm just going to use my NYX concealer serum. Because to be honest, I only have like 2 concealers right now. This one and the Catrice one that I use for my eyes. I really need to get some more concealer. Okay, so these are the products that I bought. I do think I will use this today because I feel like that's going to match pretty well. This is the MUA Blushed Liquid Cream Blush in the shade Dusky Rose. It says, add a pop of colour to your cheeks with this gorgeous liquid blush. The light buildable formula is best applied with your finger, but it can also be used on the lips. Okay, well, I don't really like using fingers for makeup products. It just gets really messy. I don't like it. So I'm going to use a brush and see how that goes. And if it doesn't work, I'll try using my finger. But that is what the colour looks like. It's more pinky than purpley, but that should be fine. I'm just going to tap some on my brush. It smells kind of nice. Ooh, wow. Oh, okay. Hold on, please. Okay, so this is not light and buildable. I mean, it does feel very lightweight in the terms of like a gel blusher, but it is like full pigment straight away. Like that was very deceptive. I thought it was going to be really sheer, and it blends out fine with a brush. It's like a little bit luminous as well, but oh my god, I expected it to be like more sheer and it just was not. It was just like full pigment straight away. So yeah, now we're very, very blushed, but it looks really pretty. It's just very deceptive. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of powder. Let me find one. I kind of want to use this Pretty Little Thing powder because I haven't used it since I first tried it. But also I want to give the makeup a fair shot. So I'm going to use this on my under eyes because I know how the concealer works. And then all over my face, I think I'm going to use my tried and true Technic because then I know that it's not the powder messing with it. I just want to use something different because I feel like I just keep using the same powders. Yeah, that looks okay. I mean, it does definitely, I guess, look a little bit heavy, but yeah, it looks fine. I'm not being wowed. I think it's like not radiant enough, I guess. I don't know. I feel like my face just looks really kind of like dry and like not, it doesn't look like it has any life in it. Like I'm not enjoying that foundation, unfortunately. For bronzer today, I'm going to use this Lakura Dream Big One because I haven't used it in a while. And yeah. This is definitely more of like a true bronzer rather than like a bronzer slash contour that can be used for both. This is very like warm toned, which is fine. I've just been really loving my Profusion one, which is definitely more cool toned than this. But so instead for blush, thinking this one, I'm trying to find one that matches. I think this is my favorite. So this is the Collection blush in the shade For Trouble. I feel like I spoke about this in another video, but we always get cherry knockers where we live. Just like kids that come in the building and they just knock on people's buzzers. But it's like something that during the summer, it was happening like 4, 5, 6 times a day. And everyone in the block would ask them to not do it. And they just keep doing it. But I mean, it's got a little bit better, but we've had another one. So Cameron is going to investigate. It's so funny because he always goes out there and he's like, did you do our buzzer? And they'll be like, no, what? We were just trying to find my sister. And he's like, what? And he just asks them the question, but they get so flustered. It's quite funny. For highlighter, and I feel like this might be a really bad idea, but I really want to do it, is I want to reuse this Pretty Little Thing one. I feel like it'll kind of match, and genuinely I do not remember what it was like, so I'm going to take some on my finger. I mean, it might be better as well if I use some setting spray. I'm going to use this one again. I have not used in ages. This is the Collection Primed and Ready Illuminating Makeup Fixing Spray. Okay. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. It's weird because I'm using all products today that I don't normally use, and I actually like the way that my base is looking. Although I will say that this Collection Illuminating Dewy Finish one has made my face feel kind of oily. But anyway, let's finish off these eyeballs. So do we want to do sort of like a halo on the bottom as well? Or do we want to like use the pink? What do we want to do? I'm thinking let's try the pink. Okay, let's try this pink here. Okay, so that didn't show up as pigmented, but remember it's not on a sticky base like the top was. So I am going to pop into a little bit of the darkest shade in here. Then for under there, let me take a bit of this one actually. We haven't used it yet, but I just want to see. Okay, it's not hitting how I want it to, so I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to take it on my finger, I think. Okay, I'm going to use this W7. Oh my god, how do I open it? Ice and Bright highlighter. Let's see how this goes. I don't think I've used it, so it's yellow. What? I kind of like it. But now brows, and for brows I always do the same thing. I honestly don't even know if I have any other brow products. Let me look. I've got this one from like Profusion. Is there a reason why I didn't like it? Guess it's kind of light. Then I've also got the 17 one. I feel like for a while I really liked this thing. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'll use this then today. The 17 Full Definition Brow Pencil. I think I have this in dark brown. I've been loving my brow routine normally with the NYX brow glue and then the eyebrow pencil from Shein. But actually I used the Technic Brow Fixer glue today because I'm actually running out of that NYX one and I want to make sure I have enough for when I travel next week. So I'm just doing a completely different brow routine today. I hope I like it because I've honestly been loving my brows recently. The brows will look okay today. It's definitely not as good as my normal routine, I will say that, but it's fine, it's whatever. I want to try this Technic Go All Out Length and Define Mascara again, so I'm going to use that. But first, let me put something on my lips because they're dry. So this is again new. This is the MUA Nourishing Lip Gloss. This one is in the shade Super Nude. Oh, it smells nice. Smells kind of like the Revolution glosses, kind of like vanilla. And it does have pigment to it, and it is super nude. They were right. It's kind of streaking though. Now let's do the mascara. I'm not gonna curl my lashes, I just can't be arsed nowadays. But this is the wand. It looks like something I'd like. I don't remember if I like this or not. I'm guessing not because I haven't used it since, but... Okay, so that's one coat. Let's do a second. Okay, so let's wait for that to dry now and hopefully not get any more mess. Okay, so some of that mascara has finally dried, and I say some because this eye still actually has not dried. And I've been sat here for like 3 to 5 minutes ordering us food because I'm starving. But this is my finished makeup look, so I'm going to go about my day. I don't know what I'm going to do today. It might be a bit more of a relaxed day. But regardless, I'm gonna go about my day. Oh, also, do you like my hair? I like curled it, but I curled it towards my face. I think it looks so cute. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go about my day and I will check in with you guys later. Have a good day. Future Katie here. Oh God, how many hours has it been? I think like 9, 10-ish hours at least. Yeah, today's been another pretty busy day. Been doing a lot of work, and and this is how my face is looking at the end of it. As normal, I haven't literally touched anything up at all, and this is like the first time I'm actually looking at it pretty much. So I did have a little bit of mascara smudge earlier because my eye was watering so much. But for the rest of it, like, there's not really been any flaking. I haven't noticed anything. Like, the mascara looks pretty good. Yeah, it's just a little bit annoying because it takes so long to dry, so it can get really messy. But once it actually does dry, it's been pretty good. Like, they look pretty good. Let's talk about the eyeshadow now, which is definitely the star of the show today. It looks super sparkly still. It looks really, really pretty. It hasn't faded all day. It looks really good. Like, even on this eye that was watering loads, there's not even a patch missing or anything. Like, the eyeshadow for $1.99, I'm seriously impressed with. And I tried to look up online to see if I could find a brand, and I couldn't. There wasn't anything I could see, which is a bit upsetting because I really want to try more, but maybe in the future it'll happen. But so far, the eyeshadow palette gets a double thumbs up, 10 out of 10 from me. I really like it. Let's talk about the foundation. It is not the worst, but definitely not my most favorite base ever. You can see, oh God, I look sweaty here. But there's like some dryness. There's also some texture where it's been breaking apart. You can see sort of like it's settling into my pores a little bit there. To be fair, it's not too bad around the smile lines, but especially around my mouth, it just looks a bit odd. There's a line here from where I had my glasses on. Oh dear. Yeah, I had my glasses on as well. You can see that right there. But I mean, overall it looks okay. It doesn't look excessively oily, but it's really not my favorite. Like, even from a distance, I feel like it looks too oily, like in here. To be fair, it's felt quite oily. I haven't enjoyed this foundation experience. There's definitely better ones you can get for a similar price point, if not probably cheaper. The first one that comes to mind is the Technic one that I literally always rave about because that has more coverage than this. It has a radiant finish, but like it's way nicer than this. Watch any of my other videos if you want to see what I'm talking about because I literally talk about it all of the time. But yeah, I feel really oily. Oh, and I haven't actually been sweating that much, not in comparison to yesterday, which is when I tried that cushion foundation. Actually, it was yesterday. I know it's probably last week's video, but I actually tried it yesterday and I was sweating like a lot more and I didn't have this like excessive oiliness. Like, I don't actually know if I've ever had that sort of feeling. Oh, it's not nice. I don't like it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like the foundation from Collection, which is a shame because I quite enjoyed the concealer. Anyway, onto the blush. You can still see it. Honestly, that blush I was like very impressed with. Like, from the sounds of it, I thought it was going to be like super sheer, but it wasn't. And it's lasted really well. Like, even on my nose, like, that blush is really good. I think it was like £3 or something as well. The colour was really pretty. Honestly, I think I want to get more. But my drawer of cream blushes, like, I have too many already. Like, I think that's one of the most items of products I have, like, in any category. But yeah, it looks really good still. The lip gloss obviously like faded pretty quickly, but it felt nourishing. It felt nice. I didn't feel like I immediately have to go and hydrate my lips. Honestly, I think I waited like a few hours before applying a lip balm, which is quite rare for me. I normally put lip balm on quite frequently. But yeah, it felt sufficient. It felt nice. It was a little bit streaky on application, but it was fine. I imagine if you had one of the like deeper shades, maybe the pigment would look bad because if it was streaky when you had a deeper shade, it would be way more visible. But because of the shade I had was pretty light, you couldn't really tell. and yeah, it was fine. Again, it's not my favorite lip gloss. Like, my favorite one is probably the one from Primark. It's in the shade Candy. It's like just so sparkly and juicy and beautiful. That doesn't have any sparkle in it. It's definitely more of like a NYX This Is Milky kind of gloss, which I didn't really love those either. But it's that kind of thing. It's more like smooth. There's no glitter in it. It has some pigment, but not too much pigment. Honestly, it was kind of similar to the NYX This Is Milky gloss, because that one was also incredibly streaky on me. But yeah, this is how it's all wearing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.